Hi everybody, this is Rolanda Sumner and I am the CEO and founder of Butter Angels Handcrafted Skincare and the host for Sister Soldier Entrepreneur podcast and YouTube show. Okay, so this is my random thought of today. I want to tell you why you need to consider taking a year off after you have left the military and how you could take a year off after you left the military. This is specifically for those who are thinking of leaving the military in the next 1 to 5 years, even 6 months to 5 years, or those who have just left the military, like you left the military less than 6 months ago. This is the first reason why you want to take a year off. You need to decompress. The military has an op-tempo, particularly for active duty members. The military has an op-tempo that most civilian jobs don't have. And you're used to this op-tempo. It feels like a daily routine because that's the tempo you have been going on since you've joined. And that's the tempo you have gone on since you joined. You know, if you're AGR, if you're a full-time technician, if you're a traditional active duty soldier, that's the high op tempo you have been going on since you joined. And so you're used to it. But the rest of the world does not work in that type of stressful environment every single day. Unless you are like a firefighter or you serve the public in some way, you work in the emergency room, those are different. But for the traditional jobs, you know, there's breaks and it's not always that condensed. So you need time to decompress and just chill out and relax. The second reason you need to take a year off is you need the opportunity to really sit down and think about what you want in your life now. So beforehand, you want whatever Uncle Sam wanted you to have. You wanted to get the mission done. You wanted to do your time. You wanted to make enough money to protect your family and have nice things. But you know, the idea of being a musician really wasn't at the top of your mind. When did you have time? The idea of being an artist wasn't at the top of your mind. When you can paint on your own time, soldier. Now that you're out, you can think about those things. What do you really want to do now? Don't think about how much money you can make from it or how much money you won't make from it or how lucrative it is or how long it's going to take you to get there. Your focus is to figure out what you really, really want. Be honest. Be open. You know, say it out loud. Dig deep. And be honest with yourself. Do not think about all of the other considerations of your family and everything like that. Just focus on what you really want to do. And that it might take some time because at first you might be like, well, I just want to make enough money to take care of my family. And then when you start to get more comfortable with the thought that, hey, I can really voice what I really want to do, or I had this dream long time ago and I put it aside so I can pursue my career in defending my country. Now you don't have to worry about that. Really focus about what you want to do. And 3, you actually get to you need time to just do in your day what you want to do. I know that sounds crazy, but you need time to set your own schedule and feel what it's like to dictate your own day. These are important steps. They really are. I know they sound foofy and it's like, oh, you're just being lazy, but it's cathartic and it helps you mentally really just get into who you are at the core and what you want to do with the next step. Because military retirement is like having a second life. It's like starting your life all over again. But now you might have children or now you have responsibilities, as before you didn't, when you first started your military career, you didn't have any responsibilities. You're like a little private and you might have had some kids, but for the most part you were young and, if you were like the rest of us who joined at 17 years old, you didn't have any bills. You didn't have anything going on. But now you get to figure out what you want your life to be like with your family and what part you want to play. I'm going to tell you how you're going to do this, though. Because I know you're thinking, like, I'm not going to be able to survive. Like, I have to bring in money. If you are retiring, like a regular straight retirement, if you're retiring, or if you're going to do a medical retirement or going through the MEB, or any way you're going to leave, you need to research what that exit is going to mean financially to you. Are you going to get a pension right away? Do you have to wait until you're 65? Are you going to get your medical benefit or your VA benefit right away? Do you have to wait? What does that look like to you? And do you get both? Do you get your medical pension and your VA benefit? Do not put a comment down below to say that cannot happen, because it can. Not everybody gets to do it, though, but it can happen. So don't email like, oh, that's not true, because it is. But figure out what your exit from the military means financially to you. Once you figure out what your military exit financially means to you, you also need to sit down and figure out, or not figure out, research what your military exit means to you. But you also need to research unemployment for military people once they leave the military. Unemployment for veterans. It's going to be by the state in which you live. So say you're in South Carolina and you know you're going to go back to California, then you need to research California's unemployment laws. You need to research the unemployment laws for whatever state you're considering and actually moving to, okay? In the state of South Carolina, you can file for unemployment. I think it's up to 6 months after you leave the military. And they might even extend it a little bit, depending on your circumstance. But I got unemployment shortly after I left the military, because I went from my retirement, I got a regular job, I got fired from that job 2 months out, and then I was like, okay, what do I do? And I was told, go ahead and file for unemployment. And I think they just need your 214 and some stuff. They'll tell you how to file for it. The requirements to maintain your unemployment throughout the 6 months is simple. You just look for a job, and you can do it online, and you might have to go see your unemployment rep from time to time, but it's really super simple. Yeah, you're gonna have to go to work afterwards. However, for the year that you're gonna take off, you're gonna still look for a job, but now you get to look for a job that you really want, or a job that you're willing to take until you can get what you really want. Now, with unemployment, you can extend it once you get close to your 6 months mark. I don't know the process in that, because I didn't extend mine. And there's different benefits for like small business owners and so on and so forth. Again, that's something you need to research. So one, you need to research what your exit from the military means to you financially. And two, in what the state in which you're going to live, what does the unemployment law state for veterans? Okay. Those are the two sources of income you have right there. Then the third source of income that you can have is if your spouse is working, you need to sit down with them anyway and talk to them about what this year is going to look like when you leave. But if you can come to agreement that they pull in most of the weight for the bills and you guys cut back on a lot of your expenses, you know, instead of going out of state for your vacation, you have a vacation in state, you know, you don't eat everything organic or what have you. You can sit down and discuss with your spouse how you can cut back on bills and how they can pick up the bulk of the bills. And how long will this break be? You know, it might be 6 months. It might be a year. If you can make it stretch a little bit longer, that's fine. If you have time before you exit the military, no matter how much time it is, whether it be 6 months or 6 years, start to pay off all of those bills, credit card bills, small loans, your car note. If you don't have any of those, pay off your mortgage and save some money Financial stability is important, and you're going to need a little bit of savings just to get you started, because your benefit is not going to start like the day you get your 214. You're going to have to wait a month or two to get your money to come in. The government likes to pay slow. They want to take your money right away, but they want to pay slow. So make sure you have a plan and you start to execute that plan, and you live on less. If you're a spender, this might be a little bit difficult. So you might have to have a plan that is reasonable for your habits. You might have to have a plan that's reasonable for your habits. If you like to go out to eat every day, instead of spending $15, you might want to spend, $7 or $5 to $7. Make it reasonable to what your habits are so you don't binge spend. So now you got 3 sources of income. You have your exit, whatever exit money you're getting, whether it be retirement, your VA benefit, whatever the case may be, unemployment, and whatever savings you have aside. If it's not going to be savings, you need to at least cut down a lot of your bills, because you don't want to have to pay a lot of bills out and then you don't have very much money coming in. And then your 4th source of income, it can be a side hustle. So if you want to drive for Uber on Mondays or Lyft, or if you want to do like work part-time, like 12 hours a week or something like that, you can have a 4th source of income. No matter what the source of income is, research it beforehand. I didn't research mine because I didn't think I was going to take a year off. I didn't plan on taking a year off. I got fired from my job, and then one day I was like, I'm going to start my business, and realized how expensive the business was going to be. But the good thing about it was I already had things in place. Like, I had already went through the medical board, so they told me these are the different avenues you can take, and this is what you need to start filing for today, X, Y, and Z. The other source of income you can try to look into is vocational rehab. The Department of Veteran Affairs has a program called vocational rehab, and they have 3 tracks. The first track is straight getting a job. If you can put that track on hold for a little while and go for the education track, the education track is where they'll send you to school. They'll pay for all of the equipment you need for school, whether it be a laptop computer or a book bag, pencils, anything you need to be successful in your education. And they will give you a monthly stipend, which isn't so bad. I think it's like your BAH or half your BAH, but it's better than $0. And you didn't have to pay for your laptop or your pencils or your pens or anything like that. If you have a good representative, they're going to try to dig for all types of little nooks and crannies that you can get from the VA. If you have one who doesn't really care and he's just doing just enough for you to say he's doing his job, then he's only going to get you what he wants to get you. This is why you need to do some research. The 3rd track is entrepreneurship. This is a very difficult track. I'm not going to lie to you. The Department of Veteran Affairs does not like to talk about this track. So before you go to your vocational rehab representative, you need to have your business plan approved by the SBA first, because that's what they're going to tell you to do. Do you have a business plan approved by the SBA? Come back when you have one. Knock out that step already. Get a membership with liveplan.com, and then walk your way over to the SBA or SCORE, but it needs to be approved by SBA, and say, I need a mentor who's going to help me get my business plan straight, and this is why. And they'll assign you a mentor, and before you do the live plan, ask the SBA or SCORE if they can give you a discount, because sometimes they have partnerships with these types of companies where you get like 50% off for 6 months or something like that. But go with the plan. Go with a SBA approved business plan. Please do that. Other than that, you can just kiss it goodbye. But it's a hard track to pursue, and when you're going through ACAP or whatever they call it nowadays, Soldier First or what have you, they don't like to talk about entrepreneurship unless it's franchising, and you may not want a franchise. So have a plan. So I gave you 4 sources of income. Okay. Don't think this idea is crazy. When you're in the year, when you first start, you're going to be scared, like, oh my gosh, we're going to be broke. What am I going to do? But as the months go on and you start to decompress more and you start to be really comfortable with what you want to do, you're going to be like, thank God I took a year off. And you're going to go into your next job, your civilian job, that's going to help you, you know, make a little bit more money until you can do what you want to do with a different frame of mind. You're not going to go in with the mindset of desperation. You're going to go in and be like, look, I know what I'm worth. I know what I can do. And I know what I'm willing to do to get to what I want. It's going to be from a different place. So, if you have any questions about how to take a year off after you finish your military career, particularly if you have not left the military yet, place a comment below. I check my social media every few days or so. So post your comments below. I will answer you back. And I will try to also connect you to different resources that I know of who might be able to help you out or give you some good advice. So have a good day. Thank you so much for listening. And I hope this information is helpful. Bye.